This is my complete Steam Deck setup, and today I'm going to show you all the accessories I use for my desktop setup at home. Then we're going to take that same footprint and translate it into something you can take on the go. Let's start with the dock. This is the backbone of the desktop build. The Steam Deck has a single USB-C port. A dock expands that single artery into a nervous system. HDMI out, 3 USB-A ports and a USB-C for charging. Ethernet if you care about stable downloads, and it's slim enough to not throttle the deck while docked. That's what makes the desktop footprint possible in the first place. The dock is from JSAUX and you can usually find it on Amazon for around $40 to $50 or £30 to £40, an absolute must to get started. Now that the dock's in place, you need control. For basic desktop mode, browsing, settings, even slower paced games, you don't need anything fancy. This is just a cheap Amazon mouse. It works, tracks fine, clicks fine, and that's enough. But if you already own something more serious like a proper gaming mouse, I use the RAZER Blackshark Ultimate. You can plug that straight in too, and if you're playing shooters or anything that benefits from precision, it just feels better. Keeping in mind that performance comes at a price. Next is the keyboard. I'm using a 60% mechanical, the DIERYA. A 60% layout keeps the footprint small. When you're building a compact Steam Deck setup, you don't need a full-size keyboard taking over the desk. It's around £40 on Amazon, so it's not crazy money. Solid build, brown switches so you get that mechanical feel without being too obnoxiously loud. It's got Bluetooth and USB-C for less latency, and it's got hot swappable keys. I went with the pastel because why not? For me, audio is where the setup either feels complete or cheap. You can get away with a basic mouse, you can compromise on keyboard size, but if the sound is flat, the mic is trash, the whole experience suffers. I'm using the RAZER Blackshark V2. Great soundstage for gaming, solid bass without being muddy, and the microphone is genuinely clear. If you're playing online or jumping into Discord, that matters. For the price, these hit a really good balance between sound quality and comfort. They're not exactly cheap and they come in at around £150 to £200 on Amazon, but quality comes at a price. This is the mic quality of the RAZER Blackshark V2. It does the job. I even did most of my original videos on it, and it's one of the best mics out there for a gaming headset. The last piece of the desktop setup, the monitor. I'm using a 27-inch 1440p 140Hz LG monitor. Is that overkill for the Steam Deck? Yes. The deck isn't pushing 144 frames at 1440p. But this is my main PC monitor, and that's kind of the point. If you already have a decent monitor, the deck just slots into it. You can find solid 1440p monitors in the £100 to £150 range now. Colours are vibrant, the image is sharp, and it makes the whole setup feel like a proper desktop environment. At this point, the deck stops feeling like a handheld, it feels like a compact PC setup. Now let's translate that footprint into something you can take on the go. Enter the JSAUX Double travel supply case. It's not a slim sleeve you can throw into another bag, it is the bag. This is for people who don't mind carrying a separate case because they want everything in one place. It's got a solid outer shell, water resistant finish so you're not panicking if you get caught in the rain. It's rigid enough that nothing inside gets crushed. Inside, the Steam Deck sits in its own compartment. The interior has a soft plush lining so the screen and shell aren't rubbing against anything hard. It keeps the deck protected and stops it getting scratched upon transit. It fits snugly and it's not sliding around. If you're out and about and you just want a quick session on your deck, there's an inbuilt stand as well. It comes with a USB-C cable that passes through to charge the deck. And this is where the double decker gets its name. Underneath is where we're going to fit all the accessories we need for our setup. So let's start with the power bank. This is the INIU 100 watt 25,000 milliamp battery. It's got two USB-Cs and a USB-A, all individually outputting up to 100 watts. They say big things come in small packages, and this one absolutely delivers. You can pick this one up on Amazon for around £70 and it won't let you down. Let's get it set up in the double decker so it has pass-through charging for the Steam Deck while on the go. Next is a toss-up between the mouse or a controller. I went with the DualSense 5 because it has an inbuilt trackpad which works as a mouse at the very basic level. Most Bluetooth controllers are fine and they'll get the job done. You can also take a mouse just in case. That's all down to preference and what you want to utilise the space for. So I'm going to stick with just the DualSense 5. So let's get the dock in there too, because the dock bridges the gap between desktop mode and travel. It's small enough to fit in. This is what gets you gaming on bigger screens wherever you are. Next we have to refine the audio from the desktop setup into something portable. Any Bluetooth headphones will do, but I went with the AirPods because the sound quality and active noise cancellation is very close to a desktop environment. And when you're traveling, that makes a massive difference. Now we can't shrink a monitor into the package this size, so if you want an alternative to the dock, you can strap that monitor on your face by using the X-Real AR glasses. I've covered these many times in the channel and they're a great little device for on the go. You can use them on planes, trains, in automobiles, or even just lying in bed when you don't want to look down at your deck. I opted in for the glasses this time on my travels because I'm having a lot of fun with them lately. So let's get the power supply in, and now the setup is complete. The point of the setup is that you can pick and choose whatever accessories you want to take from your home setup and translate it. The carry case helps because it brings flexibility and reduces friction when making that transition. The inside has detachable inserts, so with a little bit of tinkering, your imagination is only the realistic limiter. The double decker is brand new and costs around $40 or £30, which is an absolute steal if you're wanting to take your home setup on the go and don't mind carrying an extra bag. Don't forget to always put your Steam Deck into sleep mode or power it down in any case that you're using. JSAUX have implemented a vent on the double decker, so it helps with overheating. If you're interested in any of the accessories I use, I'll shove a link in the descriptions to the ones that I think are an absolute must and take your Steam Deck to the next level. I'm Dark Soul, and if you like this sort of content, subscribe and I'll see you on the next one.